Have you ever felt completely misunderstood? Pushed to your limit, with everyone around you offering advice that just doesn't help? That's exactly where Job is in chapter 19. He's at his wit's end, and frankly, who can blame him? His friends, instead of offering comfort, have turned into his accusers. He says they've wronged him, that God has closed his net around him, and that his pleas for justice go unheard. Imagine the isolation. His family, his servants, even his wife have turned away from him. He's become a stranger in his own home. He describes how young children mock him, and his closest friends now despise him. It's a picture of utter desolation. When you're suffering, the last thing you need is judgment. You need compassion. You need someone to just sit with you in your pain, not try to explain it away. Job's cry, "Have pity on me, my friends, have pity. For the hand of God has struck me," is one of the most heartbreaking pleas in all of Scripture. He's begging for a drop of human kindness in an ocean of suffering and condemnation. But then, in the middle of this profound despair, something incredible happens. Job's perspective shifts. From the depths of his pain, he makes one of the most powerful declarations of faith you'll ever read. He says, "I know that my Redeemer lives, and that in the end, he will stand on the earth. And after my skin has been destroyed, yet in my flesh I will see God. I myself will see him with my own eyes, and not another." Wow, just let that sink in. Even with everything stripped away, when he feels abandoned by God and man, Job clings to this ultimate hope. He knows that his story doesn't end with his suffering. He knows there is a Redeemer, a defender, who will vindicate him. He's looking beyond his present circumstances, beyond even his own life, to a future restoration. This isn't just wishful thinking. It's a deep, gut-level conviction that justice and redemption will have the final say. He even wishes his words could be inscribed in a book, engraved with an iron tool on lead or carved in rock forever. He understands the timeless importance of his testimony. But the conversation, or rather the series of monologues, isn't over. Zophar, one of the friends, can't let it go. In chapter 20, he jumps back in, completely ignoring Job's profound statement of faith. Zophar is insulted and feels compelled to respond. He basically doubles down on the same old argument. The wicked always get what's coming to them, and their prosperity is He paints a vivid picture of a wicked person's downfall. He says their joy is brief, like a cloud that vanishes. Even if they soar to the heavens, they will perish forever. He describes how the evil they've done will come back to haunt them. The wealth they've greedily swallowed, they will vomit up. The food they eat will turn to poison inside them. It's a very graphic and intense description. Zophar argues that the wicked will never find peace or enjoy their ill-gotten gains. Their homes will be destroyed, and everything they've built will be swept away in a flood of divine wrath. He concludes by saying, "This is the fate God allots the wicked, the heritage God appoints for them." Zophar is so certain, he's essentially holding up this terrifying image and saying, "See, Job, this is you. This is what happens to people like you." He completely misses the point. He's so wrapped up in his rigid black and white theology that he can't see the suffering man in front of him. He can't hear Job's cry for pity or his incredible declaration of hope. And his contrast between chapter 19 and chapter 20 is so stark. On one hand, you have Job, in the midst of unimaginable pain, looking forward to a living Redeemer and ultimate restoration. On the other, you have Zophar, comfortable and certain, delivering a cold, impersonal lecture on divine retribution. It reminds us that sometimes the most spiritual thing we can do is not to have all the answers, but to simply be present with those who are hurting. Job's hope shines so brightly against the dark backdrop of his friends' accusations. It's a hope that doesn't deny the reality of suffering, but looks beyond it to the promise of redemption. Thanks so much for watching with me today. If this story resonates with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into these powerful texts. See you next time.